Valor Fights 41 in Elizabethton, Tennessee. Another professional bout. This is a welterweight bout at 170 pounds. It's presented by Army Recruiting. This should be a great one as well. One of the more popular fighters in Valor Fights. Of course, Knoxville's own, the Asian Persuasion, Jason King, 3-2 with a no contest, taking on David Sutterman Suter, 1-4 out of Lexington, Kentucky. It's our welterweight bout, a professional bout between those two that it will be a challenge for either side, as big a challenge as both have faced. David Suter coming off of 3 consecutive losses, but to terrific competition. Started out his career with a loss to Matt Metz and then defeated Latrell Purdue. Then, since then, has losses to Michael Roberts, Ken Beverly, and Slick Nick Baker. Excuse me, Nick Haymaker Baker, I'm sorry. Nick Baker, that was in 2016 for David Suter. Prior to that, in his amateur career, Suter won his final amateur bout. He made the turn from amateur to pro in 2015. From 2000, after that victory for Suter, actually did have one loss prior to that as an amateur, prior to the win over Matthew Lester. But a successful career for David Suter as an amateur, and he's made the move.
And take your seats or you're out, okay? You will not pass go. You will not collect $200. You're out.
Jason King, in his MMA career, coming off of a loss to Wesley Golden. We don't see that very often. Jason King has been outstanding. Only other loss was to Caleb Trumbull. Jason King had a no contest against Judd Brown, who we just saw on the card a moment ago. Wins over James Foster. That was at Valor Fights 18. Nick Martino, nothing to be ashamed of there, with a terrific fighter there. And William Ewers, the victories for Jason King, the Asian Persuasion, one of the more popular fighters in Valor Fights. Casey, size up this one for us.
Man, the Suter man, David Suter, taking on the Asian Persuasion, a guy we know so very well. Taekwondo stylist, doing it big time at KMAA right now.
More on that coming up. Let's go and get our fighter introduction started. Here is Jennifer.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, our next bout of the evening is in the welterweight division, and it is our pro feature bout of the evening. This fight is brought to you by Army Recruiting. First, please welcome to the cage, David Suter.
So here comes David Suter, the Suter man from 4 seasons in Lexington, Kentucky. So from a specific skill standpoint, what does Suter bring to the table?
Well, man, he is a generalist. You know, that's the thing about the 4 Seasons camp. They are known to be grapplers, of course, trained under the great Mike O'Donnell, BJJ black belt. But, you know, they are accomplished strikers as well. You've seen guys like Patrick Cornett and Ellie John Kane come out of there. Really well-rounded fighters. David Suter, no different here. Of course, the Asian Persuasion, Jason King, with a tremendous amount of height and reach over Suter in this fight. And, you know, it's going to be a tall test for Suter in my estimation.
Suter's in the cage. We go back to Jennifer.
And his opponent making his way to the cage, please welcome Jason King.
This is going to be interesting. The Asian Persuasion, Jason King, so popular from Knoxville, from that KMAA camp. He's going to have a big-time height advantage, too. He's a long, lanky guy with a lot of ways to beat you.
Yeah, exactly. You nailed, you got the nail on the head right there. He can beat you so many different ways. We've seen the triangle choke, the guard submissions. We've seen the knockouts, picture-perfect knockouts. We've seen the ground dominance. We've seen everything that you can ever hope for, and that's what makes him such a great competitor, because when you watch a Jason King fight, you always get your money's worth.
Take a look at the tail of the tape in this welterweight bout at 170, presented by Army Recruiting. Jason King and David Suter. Suter, 1 year older than Jason King, but there's that height advantage we're talking about, 7 inches in favor of the taller King, and the record advantage for King as well. Jason King weighed in at 169 pounds, while Suter at 170.9. And Jason King familiar with the people here in the Tri-Cities area as well.
Yeah, because he came up at Olson's martial arts, where we saw earlier Keith Olson with a big win. They grew up together, essentially. But really, once he got to KMA, he started to craft his game to a different style. He learned more of the ground game and the submission style, but he also learned how to put everything together. That's one thing that Eric Turner does so well there at that camp.
Jason King and David Suter, our welterweight bout here at Valor Fights 41. King's in the cage, and we're ready to go. Here's Jennifer for our official fighter introductions.
This bout is scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds. First, fighting out of the Hogs red corner, he weighed in at 170 pounds, holds a record of 1 win with 4 losses, and fights out of 4 Seasons in Lexington, Kentucky, David Suterman Suter. And his opponent across the cage to my right, fighting out of the OEB blue corner, he weighed in at 169 pounds, holds a record of 3 wins with 2 losses and 1 no contest, and represents KMA 8 in Knoxville, Tennessee, the Asian Persuasion, Jason King. Your referee when the action begins is Jimmy Neely.
Jimmy Neely, our referee, in a welterweight bout presented by Army Recruiting. David Suter in the camo trunks, Jason King in the black and yellow trunks. It's 3 5-minute rounds. Valor Fights 41. Jimmy Neely, our referee. We're underway.
Man, don't blink, man. We just saw a big knockout. Don't blink, man. Tons of power in those legs of Jason King.
Yep, striking submission either way. King looks loose on his toes. No punches or kicks landed so far. A lot of distance between the two as well.
Yeah. Now Suter, a stocky, strong guy, but again, that distance can definitely be a killer if he allows Jason King to maintain his range.
And right now, Suter is just circling, staying far away from King, and that charges in.
Like a bull and a matador.
Sprawl by King.
King looking to utilize the Uchimata throw, popularized in judo.
Suter now with that stocky frame, trying to take
There we
advantage.
go, knee to the head,
Oh.
another one.
Boy, those are vicious.
Oh, yeah. Rough position there for David Suter. Directs that one to the body, then back to the head.
I think that hurt Suter. We'll see. Suter hanging on, though. King has that left arm wrapped of Suter. Minute and a half gone by in round 1.
Nice, beautiful knee there. That one definitely hurt.
Suter hanging in there. And we'll look to separate a little bit. Oh, kick heard around the arena. Another shoot in by Suter.
And again, stifled by Jason King. Those long, long legs, my friend.
You can think you're keeping your distance, but King can get to you from long range.
Oh, there we go. Those hurt. A lot of times fighters forget about that. They took their toll.
Wow.
Suter's in trouble here. This might be over.
Jimmy Neely looking in close. Suter's got to protect himself intelligently here. And it's over.
Done. Big win by the Asian Persuasion, Jason King.
2:32 of the first round for Jason King with a victory. He moves to 4-2-1, and David Suter falls to 1-5. That was all Jason King, Casey.
It certainly was. And again, the crowd so electric here. Not only are the Knoxville fans here, as you mentioned, the Johnson City, Tennessee fans as well from there at Olson's Martial Arts.
And that is now Jason King's 4th win as a professional, and he erases that loss to Wesley Golden from back in December. And here's the finish, Casey.
Well, there it is. It was those short elbows. Again, a lot of people neglect those, but in this case, it did the job.
And where are those landing? They're landing
like in the temple, and the side of the face, and and behind the ear.
Can't do back of the head.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Anywhere but the back of the head.
Right. And accurately placed by King. What's the future for a guy like Jason King? He's still young in his career.
Yeah, tremendous future, and always a huge opportunities are going to come for someone so exciting. He's very, very exciting.
And that guy right there, Eric Turner, really taking Jason King's career to a new level. All right, to officially announce our winner, here's Jennifer.
Your referee stops this fight at 2 minutes and 31 seconds into the first round. For your winner by TKO to strikes, out of the OEB blue corner, the Asian Persuasion, Jason King.